I got an A in computer science A-level. Here's the exact method you're going to use to get the same. Okay, you need to go to PMT straight away, like have it bookmarked on your device, because this is like one of the best tools you can use for computer science A-level revision ever. So you're going to start off by going through each topic. So for example, I'll take the first topic, which is about, if I can remember, it's about the CPU and the architecture of that. So you'd click on that, you're going to read through the notes. You've got to interact with these in like an active way. So for example, making a mind map, anything you think you're not going to remember, make a flashcard of, or if you're pretty secure on this topic, just read through it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the practice questions part of it and do all of those. This is such an important thing because for computer science, the questions that you're going to get on the exam will be so similar to ones that have come in the past. And so doing these practice questions is literally the key to success. Computer science is less of an understanding game than other subjects and more of a memorization game. So if you can nail this, you'll be absolutely fine. Do this for every single one of the topics and you will be all good. And at the end, topics that you think you're not as strong on, go back, do the questions again until you can literally get full marks every single time. Now, how you're going to find out which topics you're weaker on, you're going to find a past paper. You're going to do that past paper. This could be a lot closer to the exam. So like a few days before, do that paper. That will give you a good understanding of where you need to improve. And then you're going to mark down any topics that you need to look at. And you're going to go back, you're going to read the PMT sheet, you're going to do the questions. And that's how you're going to really, really perfect your knowledge. Because let's be honest, there isn't that much compared to other A-levels that you have to learn for computer science because of all the coursework. So if you can get this all down, it's going to be a really easy A grade for you. I'm going to talk about the coursework quickly. You need to literally do whatever your teacher tells you to do when they're checking it. Getting a really good grade on the coursework, it doesn't matter if you're not the best at coding. It doesn't matter if your project isn't the best. You literally just need to tick off that checklist, have the mark scheme up and make sure you're hitting every single point. Give explanations for absolutely everything you're doing. If you think your code isn't the best, say, I could improve here. Why? How am I going to do that? You've got to really listen to your teacher on this because I managed to get an A star on the project. My game really wasn't very good. I'm not very confident in terms of object-oriented programming. But because I literally ticked off every box, there was nothing they could do but give me an A star because I'd hit all the points on the mark scheme. It doesn't say evaluate this well. It doesn't say explain this well. It just says explain this. It's literally just a checkbox exercise. In terms of the exams, you should already be pretty competent at coding, competent enough to do the coding questions. But if you come across one where you're really, really stuck and you don't know what to do, the exams mostly take pseudocode in terms of the answers from what I can recall. And so literally just write down what you want a line of code to do and try not to stress about it too much because oftentimes, obviously you're not going to get as many marks as if you wrote the code actually correctly. But oftentimes if they can follow your logic, that works as a pseudocode and you may be able to scrape yourself some extra marks. So don't panic and just try your best to write down as much as you can and understand as much as you can. My other advice would be watch Craig and Dave because they are brilliant. Like I know their videos probably aren't the most exciting, but for me, in terms of things like explaining the maths, because the maths in computer science was what I struggle with the most, but it's worth a lot of marks if you get a question like that, like the mantissa and exponent questions, you get a lot of marks for stuff like that. So if you can understand that, and Craig and Dave explain it in a really simple way. So even if you don't really fancy watching their videos, just lock in and watch at least these ones that you're really struggling with because it could save you a whole grade in the exam. I think that's all the advice I've got for you guys. I will link PMT and Craig and Dave below so that you can find them really easily. Good luck with everything. I'm sure you'll be fantastic and I'll see you next time. Bye.